Hello, racers and race fans. My name is John, and you know it. I'm your host for the Maritime Pro Stock Tour's Hot Pass podcast. Now, today's a special one. We don't usually release episodes on Tuesdays, but we have a very special reason to do that today. First of all, it's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to all race fans across the Maritimes. What better way to celebrate, I thought, than to spend a few minutes with Bubba Pollard. That's right, Bubba's going to be coming down to compete in the IWK 250 presented by Steve Lewis on July 19th, 2025. If you don't have your tickets yet, riversidespeedway.ca. So today, two things. Our conversation with Bubba Pollard in advance of the IWK 250, and then our review of the Wajax 150 at Riverside just a couple days ago, June 28th at Riverside International Speedway. So, let's get stuck in. Look, the guy needs no introduction. We all know he's from Senoia, Georgia, a third-generation driver. I'm not sure I knew that. Over 100 late model victories in some of the biggest and most well-known asphalt super late model races in North America, including the ASA Stars National Tour, the ASA Stars Tour at North Wilkesboro, All-American 400, Clyde Hart Memorial, Money in the Bank, Oxford 250, Rattler 250, 3 times, I think. Slinger Nationals, Speedfest 4 times. He's the only winner of the short-lived Canadian Short Track Nationals in 2018 and 2019. He's won no less than 14 series championships since 2009 in 6 series. That would be Miller Lite, Gulf Coast, Southern Super Series, World Series of Asphalt of Stock Car Racing, Blizzard Series, and Spears SR National SL Series. In 2024, Pollard made 2 starts in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, one driving for NASCAR superstar Dale Earnhardt Jr. That was at Richmond in Virginia, and Pollard finished in impressive 6th. Well, without further ado, here's my conversation with the driver of the 2025 Cat Car for Kids in the upcoming IWK 250 on July 19th, Bubba Pollard. Well, as promised, we have a very special guest on the show tonight. After the likes of Mark Martin, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Kenny Wallace, and many more, the IWK Cat Car for Kids will be driven by none other than Bubba Pollard this year. Thanks for joining us, Bubba.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So, tell me, how does it feel to get the invitation to come up here and take the wheel of this Cat Car for Kids for the IWK 250? I mean, one of the biggest late model racing events on all of the Eastern Seaboard, really.
Well, I'm just very thankful. I'm very thankful for the opportunity. You know, there's a lot of great race car drivers that's been a part of the event, and man, I'm just very thankful to get to come up that way. Man, I really had this race on my bucket list for a while. How are we ever going to make it happen? It's just tough it's a long ways for us, and getting across the border and things with cars and people and making all the logistics happen just is tough. So, man, this opportunity come about, and I was just we'll do it, and excited about it. And the fans, that have been the response we've gotten just since we made the announcement, it's been cool. So just everything about the event, the race, what the IWK 250 means. We're just honored, thankful to be a part of it, and hopefully we can go out and just put on a good show for the fans.
So tell me, how did the deal come about for you to make it work this year?
Yeah, so we swapped over chassis manufacturers to Van Dorn Racing, and those guys, Don and everyone at the track use the Van Dorn Racing guys with Butch and Johnny and things like that. So we kind of made the got together there with those guys and kind of made it happen. And I never really felt like I was to up the standards with those NASCAR guys to reach out and asked to be a part of the event, and just super thankful, and glad to do it with those group of guys. And I think Van Dorn Racing is going to come up and help and be a part of the event as well. So just excited to get going.
Now, one of your competitors on the ASA National Stars Tour number certain red number 28 from Nova Scotia, right here in Canada, Cole Butcher. I was thinking, did he have anything to do with this, or did you talk to him about the race or about the event?
Well, me and Cole have been friends for the last couple of years with him coming down, and yeah, he's talked about it several times and mentioned it. So yeah, any those guys like that, just putting the bug in their ear and things like that, we can make it happen. So hopefully Cole gets to race it. I'm not sure if he's going to get to race it yet, but yeah, Cole's had a good year. He's had a great last 2 years, really, with a great team that they got, and hopefully we can. He's there and we can put on a good show for everybody.
Now, you mentioned you've heard a lot of great things about the event. So tell me, what have you heard about the track, about the fans, about the event itself?
Well, I've seen pictures. I've heard from fans. Just the excitement of the event from going back to the owners that own the racetrack. I mean, just what a huge part that they play in this event and what it represents, and the fans, man, just all I've heard is they like to hang out and have a good time. I've seen the campers. I've heard Cole's actually told me I need to be staying in the campground. We're all excited and all the fun happens. So I heard they like to have fun. Just to get in there and hey, man, I'm a racer. I grew up going to these races, camping out, hanging out with friends, working on race cars. Get up in the morning and go racing. So that's kind of what short track racing is to me. And I get that feel, that vibe of it is their snowball derby, what we got down here. So just ready to get going. Great sponsor with Cat on board. We have Cat equipment here at our farm and our business. So we I told our representative we was going up there, and I told them they had to step up for us down here. But they hadn't made it happen yet. But just grateful to be a part of it.
Well, listen, how do you prepare for a race like this? I mean, you've never seen the track in person. So, do you go on YouTube and watch footage of some of the old races? Do you talk to other drivers that have done the race before?
Yeah, I do a lot of. I talk to a lot of guys. I watch as many videos as I can just on YouTube, replays of the race and things like that. And the biggest thing we're going to fight there, I feel like, is the tires. The cars, I feel like for the most part, they're going to be what I'm accustomed to, but the tires are going to be the big difference. We just kind of got to get a good feel for the tires and how the tires fall off and how much the tire is going to last. So is there's a lot of key things that go into that. Is track position important? Is saving? How people cycle through and just learning how to race with those guys and who to be around and not knowing who to be around and putting yourself in the right position. So there's a lot of studying. You kind of talk to guys on how guys are going to race you, and hopefully they race me with respect. But I'm sure they'll race me hard. But I'll do the same and show those guys respect. So just learning learn the cars, learn the tires, how the racetrack races. There's a lot that we'll learn hopefully on Thursday and Friday that take over into Saturday.
So, what goes through your head when you get dropped into big events like this? Does it add pressure to do well?
I don't know. It does. You want to see a good race, just kind of show them how to race. So, yeah, I mean, it does it does put some pressure on to go out there and perform, but and you get thrown into this high pressure situation. You want to perform, right? So, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, we're just going to go out there. I feel like do what we do each and every week, what we're capable of, and just get familiar with the car and the tires and the racetrack and things like that. And I think we'll be fine. So, my goal is just putting on a good show for the fans, and hopefully when they leave there, we that's what they've seen, and hopefully we can do that.
Now, we know the Chisholm family is going to have a good car and a good crew for you there that night, but are you bringing anyone from your own crew up for this?
Yeah, I think some of the Van Dorn guys are coming, and I'd also like a lot of my guys. There's two or three that's coming with me. They've been with me for a long time now. I've been racing 25 years, and they've been with me for 10 or 15. one's been with me for longer than that. So I want them to be a part of the event. I try to take these guys. They're as much a part of this deal as I am. I've had a lot of success and been very fortunate to have good guys with me in the past years, and they've been the reason I've had so much success. So I want them to be a part of it and get to experience a lot of the things that I do, and very fortunate for those guys to come along with us.
Now, amidst all the racing excitement, let's not forget the race's longstanding commitment to the IWK Hospital, which is our regional children's hospital here in Atlantic Canada. The event has helped raise over $600,000 for the IWK Foundation since the start of the race in 2007. So, not just as a racer, but as a dad, does that connection make it even easier to say yes when you're asked to participate in something like this?
It does. I mean, the kids for me are for everything. I mean, we do it as a family back here, and my kids go with me. My wife goes with me, and man, children. We're so blessed to have healthy children. I know there's a lot of people out there that struggle, and I'm hopefully we can make an impact on someone's family or a child or whatever it may be. Just help them out however we can, and man, really that's the goal. And I would take, as long as the children's happy, child's happy, any day over me winning a race. So hopefully we can go up there and meet some people and give back. I think we're gonna give all my T-shirt sales to one of the children's hospitals. So to a kid, I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we're going to give it out, and whatever we sell that weekend, we're going to give back. So hopefully we can make someone proud.
So, and it's not just the racing. You're actually going to go visit the hospital, meet with kids and families, and get them to sign the car before the race. How cool is that?
Oh yeah, man. Hopefully they can get excited about it. Just putting a smile on a kid's face is awesome. You never know what they're going through, and to have kids myself, and we thought about bringing them up actually, and letting them be a part of it, but getting across the border is tough. But they got a lot of things going on. But yeah, just seeing a smile on a kid's face, if we can make make a day and let them be a part of the racing, and that's the biggest part of it.
Well, listen, Bubba, we look forward to seeing you up here soon, and I know the kids and families at the IWK Hospital are looking forward to meeting you, signing the car. Race fans are beyond excited to have you up here, and I know the grandstands are going to be packed. Before I let you go, do me a favor, bring that Georgia sunshine with you, please.
Yeah, it's nice out. It's good and hot right now. It's been upper 90s, so we're having a good time, and hopefully we can have some good weather up there then.
Well, thanks for doing this. Can't wait to see you on July 19th at Riverside International Speedway for the 17th running of the IWK 250 presented by Steve Lewis. Bubba Pollard, thanks again, and we'll see you on the 19th. Man, how cool is that to get to spend a few minutes with Bubba Pollard talking about an experience that I know race fans across the Maritimes will appreciate, him coming up to do this as part of the IWK Super Weekend. And I say IWK Super Weekend because it's not just the IWK 250 on Saturday, July 19th. The whole thing kicks off on Wednesday, July 16th with a brand new for 2025, $5,000 to win Dash for Cash Pro Stock 75 and the Crossroads League of Legends. And on Thursday, July 17th, it's the famous IWK 250 tailgate party presented by Coldstream Clear. And then Friday, July 18th, you'll see the Napa and Henry's Auto Parts 100 for the Auto World Mass Sportsman Series and the Maritime Legends Challenge for the Crossroads League of Legends Tour. And Saturday, July 19th is the 17th running of the 20,000 to win IWK 250 presented by Steve Lewis, the 36th 250 at Riverside. So with the addition of the Dash for Cash, we're talking about more than $178,000 being offered in prize money for the IWK 250 Super Weekend. That makes it one of the richest stock car racing events in Canada and indeed the Eastern Seaboard. So don't miss it. Tickets go on sale for the IWK 250 Super Weekend. I believe they already are available as either single day tickets or in 2-day or 3-day bundles. The 2-day bundle includes Friday and Saturday, and the 3-day bundle includes the Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Those purchasing a bundle can add tailgate party tickets to their cart for just $10. That's regular $25. And for ticket pricing, order links, much more is available on the IWK 250 at riversidespeedway.ca. Again, that's riversidespeedway.ca. As part of their commitment to affordable family entertainment, kids 15 and under get in free all year long, and anyone on the pre-sale wait list for IWK 250 tickets will receive advance notification of the on-sale date and time emailed directly to them. They should already have that. So, the 750 campsite reservations already made for the IWK Super 50, the IWK 250 weekend tell you that it's going to be quite the super weekend of racing indeed. Now let's get down to business and let's talk Wajax 150 at Riverside International Speedway last weekend. June 28th was the day of the action, and we were not the only ones on track that day. NASCAR Canada was there as well, running a 300-lap feature of their own, twice our distance. But listen, let's talk about the FGI Maritime Pro Stock Tour here, starting with practice. Jarrett Butcher on top of the board with a 14.220, followed by Corey Hall with a 14.327. That's a tenth and a hair off of Jarrett's pace. And it wasn't the usual practice setup that we see on the Pro Stock Tour with 3 20-minute sessions. It was 1 hour-long session because of all the day's events with NASCAR Canada also being on the bill. And Jarrett, like I said, on top of the board with the 14.220, and Corey came out later in the session to try and snatch it from Jarrett, but the closest he would come was 0.107 off of Jarrett's pace. And a point to note was that Corey did not have the usual black car. He did bring the white car that usually goes short track racing south of the border. The Hamke car, so they wanted to get that one out to Riverside in preparation for the IWK 250, probably, I would say. We know that Corey's won some big races in that car, including his win at the World Series of Asphalt down south last February. So we knew he was going to be competitive, but second place in practice, third Ashton Tucker, fourth Kyle Reed, fifth Ryan Van Arscott, followed by Jordan Vino, Russell Smith Jr., Braden Langell, Jason Hathaway. Good effort for Jason, who, races NASCAR Canada, was coming back to the Maritime Pro Stock Tour for this one, running double duty. I did talk to him before the race. You'll get to hear those comments. And last but not least, on the top 10 was Chris Reed, and for the record, Donald Chisholm was 11th. So there is your top 11 in practice. And so after that, we moved on to qualifying heat races. So we had them split into 2 heats. Heat 1 would be Donald Chisholm in the lead, followed by the 28 of Matt Palmer, making his debut on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour aboard the Lambie Racing Tire Canada machine. I love PI potatoes. Love to see that decal on the back of that car. Followed by the 30 of Stevie Lively, the 32 of Chris Hughes, the 36 of Gary Elliott, the 0 of Sam Rogers, the 13 of Austin McDonald, the 25 G-Wagon of Gage Gilby, and the 31 of Chris Reed. Heat 2, you had the 88 of Russell Smith Jr. in the lead, followed by the 25 of Ryan Van Arscott, the 3 of Jason Hathaway, 42 of Kyle Reed, the 54 of Jarrett Butcher, the 83 of Corey Hall, the 11 of Jordan Vino, the 2 of Ashton Tucker, and the 26 of Braden Langell. A lot of movement in the first group. You had Donald Chisholm hanging on to the lead, but after that, it was a bunch of movement. You've got Stevie Lively picking up a position to finish second. You've got Austin McDonald picking up picking up 4 positions to finish 3rd. Chris Reed picking up 5 positions to finish 4th. Then you have Gage Gilby picking up 3 to finish 5th. And the 0 Sam Rogers stayed where he was. The 28 of Matt Palmer lost 5. The 32 of Chris Hughes lost 4. And Garry Elliott also lost 4. Now, over to the fast heat. So your fast heat saw Russell Smith Jr. start in the lead and stay in the lead. Then you had Jared Butcher picking up 3 positions, Kyle Reed picking up 1. Then you had the 3 of Jason Hathaway losing a position, the 25 of Ryan Van Scott losing 3. The 11V of Jordan Vino picked up 1. The 26 of Braden Langell picked up 2. Corey Hall lost 2, and Ashton Tucker lost 1 to finish last. Now, that was an eventful heat race, and Ashton Tucker brushed the wall to finish last in that one. I'm not sure who had anything to do with that. And the reason why I'm not sure is because I was in the pace car for that one, so my view was not the best. Saw them coming out of 1 and 2, as we were facing those 2 turns there parked in the pace car, and it looked greasy. Ashton was all kinds of sideways and ended up brushing the wall, and he would start last, but my God, I won't spoil it for you now, but he would not end his day last. Why don't we start with Jason Hathaway, who was making a return to the Maritime Pro Stock Tour and pulling double duty that day, the only one to do so, racing in both the Wajax 150 on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour and the 300-lap feature of the NASCAR Canada Series race. So great to see Jason return to the FGI Maritime Pro Stock Tour. You'll see that when I ask him, when I say you're making your debut on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, I meant for this season. So here were Jason's comments pre-race. Also got to ask him, listen, what's the difference between the 2 cars? You're driving both today on the same track. Here's what he had to say. So we're here with Jason Hathaway, the number 3 car, pulling double duty today. First start of the Maritime Pro Stock Tour. How does it feel?
Yeah, no, it's good. I haven't ran a Pro Stock Tour car in a while. I was, I think last time I was here was 2018, so been a while. Only got two late model races since then, but I've had fun. The boys are pretty quick out here. I was trying to watch everybody, the different lines they're running and so forth. So it'll be good. We're kind of just using this as a test for the IWK 250. So got the NASCAR race today and got the 150 lapper tonight, so it should be fun.
So how differently do those 2 cars drive?
Yeah, there's a big difference. Yeah, there really is. There's no side bite in the NASCAR stuff. They're they're a heavier car and more motor, and the late models, it's got a lot of side bite and less motor. So real good brakes, rolls the center real fast, and it's fun to drive. They both are. They're both unique.
All right, best of luck tonight, Jason, pulling double duty in the 3.
Right on. Thank you.
Now, Jason looked like he was well on his way to having a good time at the Wajax 150 on the Fort Garry Industries Pro Stock Tour that day, but we had a couple guys with issues, as is usually the case. We'll start with Gage Gilby, because, first of all, congrats on graduating high school. I understand that the day before the race was his safe grad, so that was kind of limited fun there, but all for a good cause for his racing career. So I caught up with Gage Gilby in the pits, and as you can hear, the team was facing a huge issue prior to the race. Here's what Gage had to say. So Gage, here we are. First time this year outside of Scotia Speed World. Finally made our way to the high banks at Riverside. How does this thing feel today so far?
Didn't go to plan. We ran about 5 laps at pace and came in, made an adjustment, went back out, caught a vibration, came back in and just went back out to see if we could just shake it off and get rid of it, but coming out of pit lane, shifted to second, didn't even touch the gas, and the drive shaft blew up. So we're getting one here as soon as we can, but for what we did run, we felt pretty good. So that's really all we got to go off today.
Well, hard luck, and it's about to get cold down your neck, I think. I don't know what's happening there, but So hard luck today on the 25G. You're getting one. You think you'll make the feature?
Yeah, we'll definitely be ready for the feature. It'll be close for the heats or not, but yeah, we'll be in for the feature. So that's the main thing. Hopefully all goes well tonight. Our day can't really get any worse than this, so it's all up from here.
Graduated high school yesterday, racing in the Wajax 150 at Riverside today. Best of luck to the 25G, Gage Gilby.
Thank you very much.
Well, they blew a drive shaft, and when I said to him, it's about to get cold down your neck here in a second, that's because Jarrett Butcher was lurking in the background, pouring a bottle of cold water down Gage's suit, so I tried to warn him the best I could. Issues also for the 32 of Chris Hughes from Brackley Beach, PEI, the East Coast International Trucks machine. A strange fuel issue, either an airlock or a fuel lock system. The thing just basically didn't want to drink any fuel. Managed to make a few laps around the track, but to everyone's surprise, came back to the pits with the tank still pretty much full. So here it is in his own words. Found the 32 of Chris Hughes here, the East Coast International ride. Chris, practice would tell us that the raw speed isn't there, but how does she feel on the high banks today?
Yeah, definitely no raw speed there, but we're working on something here right now. It was airlocked or fuel locked or something, and we're trying to figure out what the situation is here right now. We went to look inside, and the fuel thing was completely full still after 25 laps of practice. So there's something there that we got to investigate.
Or you found magic fuel.
Yeah, if you could get mileage like that, that'd be incredible. We could win it on mileage maybe if they go 400 laps.
Well, listen, hopefully you get the issue fixed, but, it's our first time outside of Scotia Speed World on the tour this year. How does it feel to be back on the high banks?
That's always great to come here. The track's always in such great shape, and they do such a wonderful job here, so it's good to be here, but it's, struggling, so we're looking right now to see if we can figure out what's going on, so hopefully we figure it out before the feature.
Well, you'll have a bit of time because we have autograph sessions, we have, hopefully the crew figures it out in time. Best of luck today for the 32 East Coast International ride.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, unfortunately, those issues would not be solved and the day would not improve for the 32 team, Chris Hughes. He ran 5 laps in the feature and just decided to put it back in the trailer and save it for another day. Just one of those days where it just wasn't working. Tough season so far for the 32. I mean, new chassis, new motor. The expectations were high. Can competition help? But it's not come together yet. But there's still hope. I mean, the season is still young, and those guys will work hard to get it back together. So, can't wait to see the 32 on track again. We're getting close to going on the 32's home stomping grounds in PEI. They're soon at the end of the month of July. So, hoping to see if that brings a little bit more luck to the 32 team. So, rough day for them, but they'll be back. And next on our grid walk was Jordan Vino, the 11V. Great start for that team. 2 back-to-back top 5s at Scotia to start the year. But as you'll hear, a little bit of a lack of confidence maybe at Riverside International Speedway for Jordan. Just didn't have the chance to run as many laps there in the Sportsman Series. They just didn't go there that often. And with only a couple full-time seasons behind his belt on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, just maybe lacking a little bit of confidence going into that race. Here's what he had to say. So here we are at Riverside International Speedway, back on the high banks for the first time in 2025. Jordan Vino, 6th place after practice. 2 top 5s to start the year. You're off to a great start. How does this thing feel on the high banks today?
Feels better than the driver. I'm not super familiar with this place. We didn't run a lot here with our sportsman cars, so I only got a couple of times here with this Pro Stock in the last few years, and unfortunately we broke pretty much every time we were here. Car feels really good. I think it's better than me. Probably halfway through the race I should start to figure it out, and we'll just go from there.
So that should put you in the top heat, or just about. What's going to be the key to being there at the end after 150?
Don't burn the tires off. I just got to take care of my equipment, and again, this place I don't run it or never run it a lot, so paying attention. My brother yelling at me to save tires the whole time and pay attention, basically.
All right, Jordan, best of luck to the 11V today on the high banks at Riverside.
Thank you very much.
Now, Jordan started the main feature in 10th place and brought it home in 6th, so very close to 3 straight top 5s for the 11V team to start the year. I'm sure they were pleased with that. And next on my grid walk, I got to talk to Braden Langell. Catching up with the 26 of Braden Langell. We finally made it out of Scotia Speed World after the first 2 races. We're back on the high banks, and what a lot of people may not know is you have a lot of laps at this place.
Yeah, so I kind of cut my teeth here in Halifax. I got to test with Donald and George and the Nova Racing guys when I kind of first started in the Pro Stock stuff. So I do have quite a bit of laps here. The car's decent today. We struggled a bit and realized that the camber shims on the left front had fallen out of it early in practice. So we got that fixed there at the end and went to P8 on the board and just half a tenth off, I think. So I think we got a pretty decent race car.
What position did you draw for your heat race?
P9, so we're going to start dead last in the first heat race, unfortunately.
Well, unfortunately, but nothing wrong with that. Stay out of trouble, keep it clean, keep it in one piece, and get ready to go for 150.
That's right, and there's only one way to go, and that's forward. So we'll kind of pick and choose there in the heat race and feel it out, and then just keep the nose clean for the 150 and hope to be there at the end.
All right, best of luck to the 26th of Braden Lanchel.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now, Braden Langel's day. Oh boy. Started 11th in the feature. By lap 142, was in third, well on his way to a podium, to his first podium on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour. But calamity struck. Big wreck on lap 42, as we'll go through later in our race review, involving him and Donald Chisholm in between turn 3 and turn 4. And just wrecked that race car, and Donald Chisholm's car was also wrecked. Thankfully, both guys are okay. Braden posted on social media after the race saying, "Thanks everybody for checking up on me." He was very sore the next day, but he is okay. What a shame for the 26 crew, Coldstream Clear Distillery team, on their way to the first podium when this happened. So that's racing. So we'll see them hopefully next time at the IWK 250, and we will hope for better fortunes for that team for sure. Now, before the action got underway, I also got the chance to speak with our defending series champion and current runner-up in points this year, Jared Butcher and the 54 crew. Here's what Jared had to say as he prepared to return to the high banks of Riverside for the first time in 2025. Top of the board after practice for the 54 of Jared Butcher today. Any sort of last-minute issues still to make this thing perfect, or is it pretty much where you like it?
It's pretty good. We're a little skeptical about, adjustment that maybe I should make or not, just for the long run. Pretty happy with it overall. Guys worked hard all week to get it ready. So, I think we had a good piece. Just, we got to be skeptical about our long-run speed and make sure that that's what we need. One lap, 10 laps ain't going to win it, but, you need to be able to put 150 together.
Yeah, so this is our first time after 3 races out of Scotia Speed World, first time on the high banks. How's it feel to be back at a high bank track like this?
It feels really good. I used to not like this track at all. I used to struggle here big time. Now it's probably got more confidence here than I do Scotia Speed World at the moment. So it's a big confidence booster. We're working hard all year, and we're going to continue to work hard. The 83 is going to be hard to beat. The 2 car is going to be hard to beat, like always. So we just got to keep our heads on straight and try to make something out of it.
Well, you clinched your championship here last year, so maybe a little bit more of a positive association with the track now?
Yeah, exactly. We've had good runs here at the 250 and the 150, and we have a race win here. So we'll go all of our old information and we'll try to build some notebook for the 250. All
right, best of luck today to the 54, Jared Butcher. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
As you've just heard Jarrett say, for a lot of these guys, this Wajax 150 at Riverside is an opportunity to build a good notebook for the IWK 250. I mean, do the math here. It's 20 grand to win the IWK 250. It's 15 grand to win our season championship. What race do you need to win if you want to walk away with some pretty good coin? The IWK 250, of course. So you want to do well there. And a guy that's done well that I got a chance to catch up with also is the 2 of Ashton Tucker. He signed up full-time on the tour this year. First race second race third. What would he do this time? Here's what Ashton had to say before practice and heat racing got underway.
Not good.
All right, here found the 2 of Ashton Tucker. Ashton, on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, it's our first time on the high banks at Riverside this year. How's the car feel? You were pretty good in practice. Is it the way you like it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we're too far off. It's driving pretty good there. I think it's going to race good. It got pretty decent speed in it, so we're happy there right now.
Okay, and it's our first time, like I said, out of Scotia Speed World, finally made it to the high banks. How does it feel to be back on a track like this with the banking?
It's awesome to be back. This place is just, I don't know, nice spot around. It's an unbelievable facility, and it's awesome racing here. It's a very fun track, something different that we don't get to race at too often, and it's awesome racing here.
All right, so listen, piece of advice for you. If you end up on the podium today, just watch your eyes for that champagne cork, all right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'll pick one of them bottles up.
All right, best of luck to the two of Ashton Tucker today.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know if I'll pick one of them bottles up, he says. And by the way, what I was referring to there when I said watch for your eye is that at the last race at Scotia, Ashton did finish third on the podium. And he got that plastic cork right in the eye. I don't know if it was from Corey, if it was from Jarrett. But, you know, lots of safety glasses jokes and lots of eye protection jokes. And you know, Ashton says, you know, listen to what his comments were. It's a fun track. The car's got good speed, but I don't know if we'll be picking up one of them champagne bottles today. Well, he did. And he did it in a style that I personally have never seen with my own eyes before. I've never seen a last to first run in a 150. Okay, maybe in a 250. But I've never seen a last to first in a 150. What a drive. What a battle with Jared Butcher at the end for the last 15, 20 laps. Those two raced each other clean. Restarts and all. But just what a drive from the two of Ashton Tucker from Miramichi, New Brunswick. Hats off to Brad Siliker Motorsports. Hats off to Ashton. And you'll listen in his post-race comments that he drove a little pissed off. And that maybe helped his cause. And why did he drive a little pissed off? Well, remember in his heat race, he kind of got scrubbed against the wall, if you will. So, didn't like that too much and drove a little pissed off on Saturday, June 28th, and went from first to last. What more can you say? Let's just dig into the feature right now. And your starting order for the Wajax 150 on the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour, June 28, Riverside International Speedway, would be the 89 of Donald Chisholm on pole. And, you know, funny, a lot of discussions, you know, how come the track owner ends up on pole? Well, listen, he was in the slowest heat race and he won it, so he gets to start on pole. That's how that works. Number 2, Stevie Lively starts second. And that crew was stunned when I told them that. I don't think they expected it, but Stevie did start on the front row after starting on pole the race before. Third was Austin McDonald. Fourth was the 31 of Chris Reed, followed by the 88 of Russell Smith Jr. and Jared Butcher. After these two, you had Kyle Reed and Jason Hathaway. Behind them, you had Ryan Van Arscott and Jordan Vino, followed by the 26 of Braden Langell and the 83 of Corey Hall. Then it was the 25G of Gage Gilby and the 0 of Sam Rogers. And your second to last row was the 28 of Matt Palmer and your 32 of Chris Hughes, followed by the 36 of Garry Elliott. And yes, starting 18th and last was the 2 of Ashton Tucker. And the first thing you noticed, of course, was that on lap 6, the 32 of Chris Hughes, the East Coast International ride, will pull into the pits. Fuel issue, just the car just didn't want to go, Chris said in a social media post that he released later, so they decided to put it back in the box and save it for another day. That was it for the 32 from Brackley Beach PEI. Lap 12, Donald Chisholm was still in the lead, followed by teammate Russell Smith Jr. Austin McDonald was third, followed by the 30 of Stevie Lively, 31 Chris Reed, 42 Kyle Reed, the 54 of Jarrett Butcher, and the 25 of Ryan Van Arscott. Now, the 25 of Ryan Van Arscott would have a really strong day. Everyone at King Competition and everyone in the Vano Racing Circle very happy to see that team pull in really a finish that they deserved. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's great to see the small, hardworking teams do well. Listen, Ryan started the feature in 9th position, brought it home in 4th. Just off the podium. Is the podium next for Ryan and the 25 crew? Don't count them out. Don't count them out, especially at their home track at Riverside. But great to see such a good result for the 25 of Ryan Van Arscott and crew. By lap 17, you had the lead gang of the 89, the 88, the Nova Racing teammates with Austin McDonald and Stevie Lively kind of breaking away from the mid-pack led by Chris Reed. They were not quite half a track away, but in only 17 laps, you could tell that there was a lot of fighting in the mid-pack that prevented them from keeping up with the leaders. Lap 25, the 2 is up to 6th already. He started last. Did you hear what I just said? By lap 25, he's up to 6th. Unbelievable run by Ashton Tucker again. Lap 29, the 11V and the 0 make contact in turn 4, but luckily everyone was okay. Nobody drove off track. We kept going. Lap 34, you had the 89 with really what was starting to be a bit of a comfortable lead over his teammate, the 88 of Russell Smith Jr. I mean, what can you say about Russell Smith Jr.? Up with the lead pack early, fell off, came back, fell off, came back. It was kind of a seesaw race for the 88 team, and they ended up finishing with the top 10 in P10. Last car on the lead lap, you know they wanted more given the good starting position they had and how well they did at the beginning of the race, but unfortunately it seems like the struggles continue for the 88 Nova Racing team of Russell Smith Jr. And you might say, John, don't be so hard on these guys. A top 10 is a good result. What are you talking about? And I would say to you, well, go listen to my previous conversations with Russie, and those guys expect better. Those guys expect more, and you know that they're going to be ready with a good car for the IWK 250 next time around at Riverside. And by lap 47, the Deuce is up to P5. Now, by lap 47, that means he's mowed down 13 positions on the field, and the 83 is coming with him. He's up to P6 after having started in P12, so he's mowed down 6. These guys are on the move. Unfortunately for Corey Hall, he would just get hit around like a piñata all night. I think I counted at least 3 incidents that he was involved in. I'm not going to say through no fault of his own or fault of his own. You know how these things are. Talk to 2 drivers, they'll tell you a different story. So I don't know whose fault it was, but the fact of the matter is at least 3 incidents involving the 83 getting hit that night. They would end up bringing the car home in 8th position despite all that. By lap 53, you've got a pretty well spaced out field all over the track. Really, anywhere you look, there's some action going on, which was great. The lap 40, by the way, the reason I'm talking about lap 53 and I haven't talked about a lap 40 competition caution yet is because we were feeling some dampness and some raindrops in the air, so race control decided to skip the lap 40 competition caution. So we raced on. We would get the competition caution at lap 80 though, and by that time you had the 88 in the lead. And, lap 80, you've got the 88 in the lead. Again, just goes to my theory of this is where these guys expect to be, not only at lap 80, but somewhere near lap 150. So you know that these guys are going to keep digging to be there for the next one, the IWK 250. So lap 80 restart, it's the 88 of Russie in the lead, followed by his boss, 89, Donald Chisholm. After these two, you've got 54 of Jarrett Butcher, the 2 of Ashton Tucker, the 83 of Corey Hall, the 13 of Austin McDonald, 42 Kyle Reed, 30 Stevie Lively, 25 Ryan Van Orscott, and 26 Braden Langell. Now, lap 84, we got a wreck on the front straight, and you've got the 42, the 25, and the 83 involved in that one. Now, the 42 would be the worst for Rare, as he would have to retire a few laps after that. On that restart, you had the 88 on the front row next to the 54 of Jarrett Butcher. Second row was Ashton Tucker and Donald Chisholm. Third row was Ryan Van Orscott and Stevie Lively. Now, by lap 86, Butcher takes the lead over Russell Smith Jr. At that point, you've got the 54 followed by the 89, the 2, the 88, and the 25. So that's 3 spots dropped for the 88 of Russell Smith Jr. By lap 96, the Deuce is loose up to P2. Lap 100, it's Butcher, Tucker, Chisholm, Smith Jr., and Van Orscott. Notice the constant here that I keep mentioning, Van Orscott. Hanging around the lead, lap after lap after lap. He's in the lead pack. Great to see. Caution at lap 110 for debris on the front straight. And your leader, Jared Butcher, chooses the outside on the restart with alongside Ashton Tucker. Row 2 is Donald Chisholm, Gage Gilby, followed by Ryan Van Ur, Scott Braden Langell, Jordan Vino, and Austin McDonald. So, you've got a great battle for the lead here. I mean, you just heard me flip my notebook, and the first thing on top of that next page is great battle for the lead. And we would see that all the way to the end. Reckon turn 4. Unfortunately, lap 115, you've got Hall involved in it again, with this time with Chris Reed and Jason Hathaway. Word on the radio, I believe, is that the 31 of Chris Reed and the 3 of Jason Hathaway are given a warning that any further incidents will lead to them getting parked. And then you've got another restart with the 54 and the 2 on the front row, and what a battle the rest of the way. Lap 123, Ashton takes the lead from Jarrett, and the 26 is up to third. By lap 130, Ashton stretches a bit of a lead, and the 2 and the 54 have about half a straightaway on the 26 of Braden Langell in third place. Now, caution at lap 141 as the 88 stalls between turn 3 and turn 4. That is just kind of the way the season's been going for Russell Smith Jr. and company, isn't it? Restart with 9 to go. You've got the 2 and the 54 on the front row, followed by the 26 and the 25G, followed by the 13 and the 89. Now, lap 142, as I said, is when calamity strikes for Braden Langell. Podium hopes dashed for the 26 as he and the 89 get tangled up between turn 3 and 4. Both cars heavily damaged. We need to put up a beach in between turn 3 and turn 4. Lots of kitty litter. We need tow trucks, the whole thing. And the rain intensifies as the cleanup is happening. Red flag for an extensive cleanup following that crash. That leads us with an ultimate restart with about 9 to go. And boy, what a battle for the win between the 54 and the 2. Clean, strong, give and take, push and pull, and some rubbing. You had it all there. But at the end of the day, Ashton Tucker would end up on the first step of the podium after the Wajax 150. Here's what he had to say after his last to first dash. And we're coming up to our winner, Ashton Tucker, from dead last to first. There he is, there's the man. Ashton Tucker from dead last to first. Tell me about it.
I know it was just an awesome race, great car. I drove a little pissed off today and it might have worked for us, I guess, but we had a great car and appreciate Jared running me clean there. You got to use me up, but it's just awesome to get a win here. It feels good.
Yeah, last restart felt good. You had the car under you.
Yeah, we had a great car all day and lights out on that last restart. It was great.
Congratulations from dead last to first, Ashton Tucker.
Thank you.
And here's the comments for the guy that tried to take it from him, Jared Butcher, with a hell of a fight in the last few laps. Second place today for Jared Butcher. What a race. I mean, you started up front, but it was not easy. Lots of good battles for you. The last few laps battling with Ashton, some of the best racing we've seen.
Yeah, no, it was good. We struggled early in the race, just killing the cross member, and we fell back. I think we used a little bit up, trying to get back up to the field. But, you know, we got good notes for the 250. We got a little bit we got to work on to get better. You know, he's going to be the car to beat it, one of the cars to beat the 250. So, I mean, we know that. I think he knows that we're one of the cars to beat, so we'll build on it, and we'll him and Corey have been wrapping us up all year, so hopefully we can finally seal that 250 out that we've been chasing the last 2 or 3 years.
Great run for another podium, Jared. Congrats.
Thank you.
And last but not least, and that's a guy that I haven't talked much because his day, not that he didn't have an eventful day. I mean, if you look at the, where he started versus where he finished, there's no difference. He started third, he finished third, but what a day for Austin McDonald and crew, just battling to keep that third place finish. Here's what he had to say at the end. Here with our third place finisher, Austin McDonald. Austin, you started third, you finished third, but that is not the story. It was a difficult race for you, involved in lots of battles, How was it from the drivers?
Yeah, I mean, it was all we could do there. We were fighting a tight car that whole race. We got in a mix-up with the 83 and the 42 there. I apologize to both of them. Everybody kind of stacked up, and I just couldn't get on the brake fast enough there. I mean, I lifted as soon as I could, but it just wasn't soon enough. So I apologize to both those guys. They would have had a good night regardless. We did the best with what we had there. Like I said, just tight. Kind of on a long run, it would free up, and we could start to kind of pick upon those guys, but in that short run, it just hurt us too much. Fired off on the top, which was a pretty good spot to be tonight.
Gutsy effort. Congrats on a good podium today, Austin.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on the Wajax 150 from June 28th at Riverside International Speedway. For your full running order and your contingency winners, visit MaritimeProStockTour.com. And I'll leave you with a couple comments from the NASCAR Canada guys. They were there too. First, I spoke to the guy who won both races last year. If you'll remember, last weekend was a heck of a weekend at Riverside with NASCAR Canada because of weather. They were supposed to do a 150-lap feature on Saturday, 150-lap feature on Sunday, rain on Saturday, rain in the forecast on Sunday. Ended up that they did both races on Saturday last year, and Kevin Lacroix won both of them. So here's what the 74 of Kevin Lacroix had to say before the 300-lap feature got underway at Riverside. So here with the 74 Kevin Lacroix. Kevin, you won both races here last year. First of all, how does it feel to be back at Riverside?
Well, it's my favorite oval race, so it's always nice to be here. Town is nice too, so I'm always excited. But yeah, and the speed is always there, so I got really lucky last year with 2 wins. I took many years to get that finally that win, so hopefully we can keep going on with the win today.
Now, last year was 2 races. Tonight it's one big 300-lap race. So what's the difference strategy-wise?
Well, there's a whole new strategy for everyone. The pit tire change rule is brand new for today, so we're allowed to change only 1 tire per pit stop. So you need to try building a full set, but if you do that, you need to pit 4 times. So I don't know how it's gonna play out for us, but it will be a first time.
So you guys had an hour of practice in the sunshine. What do you think might happen as you guys take the green flag under dark?
Well, for sure, there's a little bit of luck into it because the car reacts differently with the track temperature, and it's a guess every time. So our car was really good in practice. So hopefully we keep a good car in the race, but it's tough to say.
All right, best of luck to the 74, Kevin Lacroix.
Thank you.
Kevin ended up finishing 6th in the feature. Now here's one of my personal favorites. Always has time for me. I know his spotter, Joe Chisholm Jr., a little bit. We got a chance to chat. I did a longer feature with him last year in advance of the NASCAR Canada weekend. And sure enough, I made sure that I caught up with Joe and that I caught up with the 27 of Andrew Ranger before the race. So we're here with the 27 of Andrew Ranger back to Riverside Speedway. How's it feel to be back on the high banks?
This is fun, fun track here. We did well in the past, so just hope that everything will go well for the 27 tonight.
Yeah, 6th place, I think, in your first race at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. So how's the car feel today? What do you think is, where will the 27 end up?
Mosport was definitely a really cool race for us. At the end, we have an engine issue, so we finished 6th. So we survived there. And here, we have a little problem this morning in practice. We'll see for qualifier, but I think we were strong. We should be good for the race.
All right, best of luck to the 27 of Andrew Ranger.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew ended up qualifying 5th and finishing 4th, and the big winner of the day for the NASCAR Canada guys was DJ Kennington, no stranger to the series, no stranger to Victory Lane. The Castrol car ended up qualifying on pole and finishing on pole. By the way, if you haven't watched yet, make sure to catch all the action on Rev TV with our friend Tim Terry and the crew calling that race. Was glad to be there. What a fun weekend. With the NASCAR Canada guys and with the Fort Garry Industries Maritime Pro Stock Tour. Next time is the big one. What else can I say? Next time is the big one. IWK 250 Riverside International Speedway, July 19th. Until then, keep your belts tight and your hands on the wheel, and happy Canada Day. What a great weekend it was at Riverside. We even saw the parade laps with the guys with the Canadian flags outside the cars for both the NASCAR Canada Series and the Maritime Pro Stock Tour. What a great weekend it was. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Enjoy it. And can't wait to see Bubba Pollard and the rest of the Maritime Pro Stock Tour in action on July 19th. See you there. Get your tickets at riversidespeedway.ca.